Welcome to ProKitchen Software online video tutorial series. In this video, we will explore how to import your own custom texture and paint samples with Image Collection. We will locate and identify Image Collection, create new category folders, import and edit a texture sample, import a custom paint sample, explore all icons and right-click menus in Image Collection, and we will explore how to apply Image Collection textures and paint colors to your designs. ProKitchen Software provides you a vast multitude of room textures and over 1,500 Sherwin-Williams paint samples in which to enhance your 3D renderings and execute true-to-final product images of your customers' designs. But there are times you may require a texture or paint sample that is not provided in the ProKitchen Textures catalog. That is why ProKitchen offers you the ability to import your own texture samples into the program with the Image Collection tool. In this video, we will walk through how to import custom room textures and paint colors with Image Collection. First, let's identify where to find the Image Collection tool icon. Navigate to the top of the ProKitchen window and left-click the View and Settings tab to open the ribbon. The Image Collection icon is shaped like three texture samples set one in front of the other at the far right end of the ribbon. Before you left-click this icon to import your sample, it is important to ensure that you have access to the sample you are wanting to import. You may either take your own high-quality digital image of the sample, making sure that there are no shadows or light reflections on the sample, and that the image has a large enough capture of the sample to create a beautiful application. Or you may navigate to your web browser, search for your texture or paint sample, and save it to your computer. For best results, make sure the image is in JPEG or PNG file format. JFIF or web-based file types will not work. Also, you may find the highest quality sample image from your manufacturer's website. Once the image has been saved to your computer, it may be a good idea to open the sample in your photo editor program. You may crop any white space here or inside the Image Collection tool. Also, make sure the file is not too large. The best size for a texture sample is no larger than 365 pixels in size. Use the resize option in the photo editor to alter the image size accordingly, and finally, save the edited version of the sample. For importing paint samples, either take a high-quality digital image of the paint sample. This is the easiest for in-house custom paints. Or open your web browser to the paint manufacturer's website and navigate to the color sample you wish to import. Once there, keep your browser open and accessible. You will need this later. Now that you have your texture or paint samples handy, let's head to the Image Collection tool. Left-click the icon to open the dialog box. If this is the first time you have used this feature, the only available folder here is Collections, which is the main folder to house all your imported samples. And within the Collections folder, you will find Colors to house your imported paint samples. And once you have imported or used any background door or window image, you will also see the Door and Window Background folder. Here, you will want to create a folder or folders to categorize your imported samples. To do this, left-click the Collections folder to highlight it in blue. Then, left-click the Add Folder icon at the upper left of the dialog box, shaped like a manila folder with a green plus sign. A new folder will appear in the panel on the left. To rename this folder, double left-click, which will then activate the text edit mode. Begin typing the folder name. When you have finished, left-click in the dialog box away from the folder to apply. This action may be taken to create more new category folders under Collections, or additional subfolders in any previously existing category folder. Now that you have folders to house your texture samples in, let's go ahead and add a texture and paint sample. To add your texture, make sure the desired folder has been selected and the folder name is highlighted in blue. Selecting a folder will activate the second icon above, shaped like two manila folders, one in front of the other, with a small black plus sign, labeled Add Image. Left-clicking this icon will launch the dialog box containing all your computer files. Navigate to where you have saved your texture samples. Left-click to highlight it in blue, then left-click Open. The dialog box with your computer files will disappear, and now the texture sample will be housed in your created folder and appear in the preview panel to the right. To tailor this image, left-click the Edit button below the preview panel. This will launch another dialog box containing your edit tools. On the left is the imported sample. To check the edges of the sample for any remaining white space or odd patterns, left-click and hold the drag sliders at the bottom and to the right of the preview image. To trim those edges, the first set of edit tools are the trim options at the top of the panel to the right. Left-click the arrows to the right of each field to increase or decrease the trim at the left, right, top, or bottom of the image. To check your work as you trim, either use the sliders on the preview panel or left-click the Preview button at the bottom right of the dialog box. Using the Preview button will launch a full-screen preview of the edited sample. To close this preview, left-click on the screen anywhere. Once the trimming is to your satisfaction, it is suggested that you utilize the Mirror tool, which will tell ProKitchen how you want this sample to be applied. You may mirror left or right, or mirror top or bottom. Left-click the Radio button to the left of the desired option. To preview the application, use the sliders available on the preview panel to the left, or use the Preview button at the bottom once again. Finally, adjust the size of the sample. An important thing to note when sizing the sample is that it needs to be sized roughly the size of the tile. For example, if you have an image that contains a couple of rows of 12 by 24 tiles, you will want to make the image size correspond to the height and width of the image. Example, 2 rows of 2 planks would be 24 by 48. Adjust the width and height either by highlighting the current value and typing on the keyboard, or by utilizing the arrows to the right. The inner arrows will adjust by 1-inch increments, the outer arrows by fractional increments. Once you have finished editing the image to your liking, left-click Apply, then left-click OK. Upon returning to the Image Collection dialog box, you may re-edit the sample size in the height and width fields located below the preview panel. Now to import a manufacturer or custom paint sample. This time, left-click the Colors folder to select. You may again choose to create subfolders with the Add New Folder icon or head straight to importing your paint color by left-clicking the now activated dropper icon above. Upon selecting the dropper icon, a new dialog box will appear and the mouse will now act as a color extractor. When you move the mouse, the color you are currently hovering over will appear in the preview box. Navigate to either the photo viewer or web browser window with the paint sample open and available. Hover over the color and left-click to select. Then left-click in the name field and begin typing the desired name for this color. Once you have finished, left-click OK to apply and save your new paint sample. Before we use either of our newly imported samples, let's take a look at the 2 remaining icons at the top left of the dialog box and the available right-click menus inside Image Collection. The icon shaped like a sheet of paper with a pencil in front is the Edit icon. To utilize this, left-click a folder or a sample to highlight it in blue. Then left-click the Edit icon. This action will activate the name field of the selected item to edit mode, and you may type the new folder or sample name. Left-click away inside the dialog box to apply. The final icon is the red X, Remove icon. To delete a sample or a folder, left-click either to highlight it in blue. Then left-click the Remove icon. This will automatically remove the selected sample or folder. In addition to the icons above, there are also right-click menu options for both folders and samples. To activate a right-click menu, first select the folder or sample with a left click, highlighting it in blue. Then right-click to open the menu. The right-click menus will be different depending on which folder and which type of sample you may have selected. When selecting the Collections folder, the right-click menu only offers one choice, New Folder. Selecting this option will create a new category folder, which you may now edit as demonstrated earlier. On any created category folder, the right-click menu options are Add Image, New Folder, or Remove Folder. Right-click options for the Colors folder are Add Color, New Folder, or Remove Folder. Again, all these right-click options will function like their icon counterparts. For the pre-installed Door and Window background folder, the right-click menu again only provides one option, Add Color. This option is used to import new background images to be used for either your windows or glass doors. When selecting this option with a left click, the dialog box containing all your computer files will appear. Navigate the folders to locate the desired background image and left-click. Then left-click OK to import the image. Once a background image has been imported here, you may choose to edit the image, similar to editing texture samples. Again, remembering that you must utilize a PNG or JPEG file no larger than 365 pixels in size. Right-click menus for imported texture or paint samples are just a little different. In the Colors folder, when selecting a paint sample and activating the right-click menu, you are provided only with the option to remove the image. In any created texture sample folder or the Door and Window background folder, the right-click options provided for your images are Edit Image or Remove Image. When selecting the Edit option, the Image Collection Edit dialog box will appear so you may make additional edits. Once you have completed importing and editing your images, texture samples, and paint samples, left-click OK at the bottom right corner of the dialog box to save and apply. Now you may use the texture samples for a room texture setting or apply it to a user shape as needed. And you may use your imported paint samples as finishes for your cabinetry if the cabinet manufacturer allows for custom paints. Let's take a moment to navigate applying a texture sample to your room or other options and how to utilize your custom paint for cabinet finishes. When you are ready to apply an imported texture, either in your design settings or to a user shape, when the dialog box containing your texture samples appears, navigate to the bottom of the catalog tree and locate the User Collections folder. Left-click the plus sign to the left of the folder to open the contents. Continue to navigate the created category folders until the imported textures appear in the panel below. Left-click a sample to see a preview in the preview panel to the right. Then left-click OK to apply. To utilize a custom paint as a finish for your cabinetry, open the Global Options View panel by left-clicking the Global Options icon found either in the View and Settings ribbon or on the toolbar. Make all your global specification selections as usual. When you arrive at the Wood Species option, select the Paint Grade Material option. In the Finish option selections, select Custom Collection. This will launch a dialog box open to your Collections Colors folder with its contents available in the panel below. Left-click a sample to see a larger preview in the panel at the upper right of the dialog box. Once a sample has been selected, the upcharge field below the preview panel will become activated. If the manufacturer has a standard upcharge rate for custom paint, that value will be displayed in the upcharge field. If you wish to alter this rate, left-click in the field, delete the current value, and type the desired upcharge rate. Then left-click OK to apply. Continue to make your global option selections until a selection for every specification has been made. After all the imported textures and paint colors have been applied according to your preferences, you are ready to continue drafting and are set to have a stunning and true to final product 3D rendering. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. For more videos like this, please visit www.prokitchensoftware.com.